This is KTBS 3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Jerry May. Jessica's on assignment. We'll be checking in with her in just a few moments. Thank you for joining us. Tonight we continue our coverage of the VA scandal. The nation's been shocked by news of secret wait lists across the country and veterans not getting the care the nation owes them. And we'd been assured by our local VA that there were no problems or long waits here, but now a whistleblower alleges that a secret wait list does in fact exist right here at the Shreveport VA Medical Center. Our investigative reporter Elsa Gillis joins us now with those sad details. Elsa.
Jerry, I sat down with a very brave veteran who is currently employed by Overton Brooks VA Medical Center. He claims there's a secret waiting list for mental health patients with names of hundreds of veterans waiting for care. We've heard of secret wait lists in Phoenix and of others across the country, but to our knowledge, there has not been a single person willing to come forward, unconcealed and currently employed by the VA, to make such an allegation until now.
A lot of people are so scared to do that. They're scared outside of the VA, but in the VA, you're going to get hammered. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not on that side that's going in one direction, you're quite possibly going to know real quick to shut up or you're going to get smoked. I mean, you're going to get hammered.
Shay Wilkes is a licensed clinical social worker who has worked at Overton Brooks VA Medical Center since 2007 with a break for his deployment. A veteran of missions to Afghanistan and Bosnia, Wilkes worked in the mental health department and now works with Iraq and Afghanistan veterans in primary care.
I think I'm more worried about the others that will face reprisal for what I've done, and I hope not.
Numbers released this week from the VA audit show that established mental health patients wait just about 2 days for an appointment at Overton Brooks. But Wilkes says that's far from the truth.
I actually have a secret wait list that is, it's an Excel sheet with veterans. It was on the shared drive. It was secured with a password. It has over 2,700 veterans on it. Thinking that it's a lot of veterans that they went through and got that maybe have fallen through the cracks. There was 2,700 veterans on there. They hadn't gone through all 2,700, but at the time, May 5th, over 500 that they had gone through needed appointments. Some of them they found in there had already passed away, so they were put on the tab of deceased. I've sat in meetings and heard individuals tell others, no, don't put them on the electronic wait list. You keep them on this list right here. Because, why? Because they want to meet that performance measure. Because if they meet the performance measure, they get the bonus, they look good.
He says the last time some of those veterans were seen was 2 years ago. The people on that list, what are they struggling with right now that they're not getting any help for?
The 500 on that list, I hope, it could be anything. It could be depression. It could be, it could be insomnia. It could be, a lot of different things. Those are just some.
Although Wilkes realizes the need for mental health services is greater than the VA's current capacity, he says perpetual dishonest practices won't help.
They can't see all of them individually, but we don't have the money to send them out here, or we don't have the money to get physicians. But we got to do something. But we're manipulating this measure that's supposed to let them know. And that's what I sat there and I told them. I said, we can't do this. We are putting a Band-Aid on a gaping wound.
Since we spoke with Wilkes, he says the number of veterans needing mental health appointments from that secret list has gone from 500 to 620. Again, Jerry, he says the last time some of those veterans on the list received care from the hospital was 2012.
Meantime, some people are getting bonuses because of that wait list, that secret list. Elsa, thanks very much for that. Of course, we reached out to Overton Brooks to respond to the allegations. They have not responded to us yet. An earlier request for a sit-down interview with the VA was denied.
Thank you, Neil. Our investigation into the VA continues. Since our investigation aired about the alleged secret wait list at Overton Brooks VA Medical Center, we've reached out to local officials for reaction. Representative John Fleming said in part, quote, What has happened to our beloved veterans across the country is a tragedy, and we must uncover everything that's been done to deprive them of the health care that they deserve. I fully support protections for whistleblowers who are coming forward with serious allegations about fake or alternate appointment lists, and I hope their information gets us to the bottom of all that has gone wrong with the VA. This past week, in light of information received from VA employees at Overton Brooks, Senator Mary Landrieu called for a full-scale investigation of all Louisiana VA healthcare centers. Tonight, that same VA insider who came forward to us with explosive claims of the existence of the secret list tells us exactly how wait times are manipulated at Overton Brooks.
I don't trust a lot of the numbers that come out of the VA, just for the simple reason I've seen the manipulation of so many numbers and so many measures.
There have been a lot of numbers coming out of the VA in recent weeks. In the audit just released, it said that established mental health patients waited 2 days for an appointment, and only 5 patients were on an electronic waiting list. This is how Shea Wilkes reacted when we showed him the official numbers.
So 5 for the whole hospital?
Yeah.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Whatever, come on.
Wilkes is a licensed clinical social worker, currently working in primary care at Overton Brooks. One of the most talked about measures recently, the VA's goal to see new patients in 14 days, has been dropped and bonuses halted for the year. But Wilkes says wait time manipulation was going on long before that 14-day goal was put in place.
You got to realize this, I want to look good. My chief wants to look good. Who's doing their appraisal? The chief of staff or the director. So, figure out a way to make this happen.
This is how Wilkes says they made it happen. First, the scheduler would ask the patient when they'd like to come in.
And you say as soon as possible. Well, they put today's date in there. They would put today's date in there and they would look for an appointment. Well, let's say the next appointment is 30 days out. Okay, well, you're not going to make that measure, right? 14 days. So what do? You back out of the system, okay? You go back in the system. Well, this time I don't ask you, when do you want to be seen, and you don't say as soon as possible. I just put the date in 14 days or 1 day or the day of the appointment. They're doing something that, they're taught to do. They have to, somebody train them to do that.
In fact,
And even with national attention focused on the wait time scandal, Wilkes says as recently as 3 weeks ago, he witnessed schedulers continuing this practice and not even realizing it was wrong.
But I said, no, you're not doing the thing where you go in and come out. And he goes, what are you talking about? And, I was explaining, and then one of the other schedulers, they say, how we do? And go in, and he said, oh, that's what they're talking about? And he didn't even know.
Manipulating this measure has been documented nationally for some time, although the local hospital assured us wait times were short. Wilkes says hiding the truth means higher-ups don't know they need more providers or more money to send patients outside the VA for care.
Folks above us don't know. If our numbers are good, they don't know we need more help. They won't give the money to get more help.
Wilkes did share these concerns within the VA and filed formal complaints with the Inspector General. He hopes that outside investigators will get to Overton Brooks as quickly as possible.
Anytime the VA investigates the VA, I have no confidence in anything's going to happen.
Tomorrow night at 10, we'll get an insider's view of how the culture at the VA has allowed this behavior to go on for so long.
As the national VA scandal has grabbed headlines, as many of you have heard, we investigated our local VA. We've brought you allegations of a secret wait list and detailed how wait times are being manipulated, allegedly, at Overton Brooks. Well, tonight our investigation continues as we examine the culture behind this unethical and deceptive behavior, according to authorities. Elsa Gillis joins us with the details.
Ever since allegations that veterans died waiting for care came out of Phoenix, we've all been asking why and how could an organization aimed at helping our servicemen and women foster an atmosphere where this has gone on for so long. In recent days, we've brought you candid interviews with whistleblower Shea Wilkes, a current employee at Shreveport's VA Medical Center. He explains a culture where you learn to adapt or keep quiet that has allowed the manipulation of wait times to continue.
This is a system where A lot of this behavior is just built in the foundation, and it has been for a while.
Wilkes says it goes beyond manipulating wait times and secret appointment lists.
The folks that do this are very crafty. They are in leadership. They manipulate hiring practices to put others that will do this stuff in positions to help them. They're going to put your morals and values. I mean, they're going to put them at risk.
And even VA officials are telling Congress that changes in leadership are needed.
We require a leadership and cultural shift in our way of managing.
Wilkes says in a system where this has gone on for so long, he's not sure some frontline employees even know it's wrong. But for those who do, it's not an environment that welcomes challenges to the way things are done.
So many good employees there that just really care, but they have fallen in there and they say, you know, it doesn't matter what I say. They're going to do what they want to anyway.
But change could be on the way. After a team of auditors came through Overton Brooks on May 13th, our facility has been flagged for further review.
I have a lot more confidence in the Inspector General now. A lot of truth is coming out, and I hadn't heard that. I haven't heard it.
At this time, we don't yet know when or who will conduct any further investigation.
It'll all be worth it when we get this thing going right. There's so many good people in the VA. I mean, I tell you, there are. You get that team and it's just there, and you're all there, and you want to help veterans, and your ideas are there, and everybody's together. It's just an amazing organization. But like I said, there's good care, and there's a fine line to becoming great. And this is where we want to be. We want to provide great care, and we can. There's no doubt in my mind. And you know, we need to kind of, I hate to say it, but we need to change and start over in a lot of different areas.
And when the VA's Inspector General went before Congress, he seemed to agree.
Mr. Griffin?
I think it comes down to accountability of the senior leadership out at these facilities. And once someone loses his job or gets criminally charged for doing this, it will no longer be a game, and that will be the shot heard around the system.
Throughout our investigation and over the course of several weeks, we've been contacted by many veterans expressing their concern for services received at Overton Brooks. But we've also had many people reach out to us praising the great care they get at the hospital. Back to you.
Elsa, thank you so much for that report. Now, if you want your voice heard, there will be a town hall meeting about veteran care, and that is this Thursday, the 19th, at Bossier Parish Community College's Theater. That's at 5:30 p.m. For more information about that and for parts 1 and 2 of our investigation, go to ktbs.com.
And continuing now on the VA scandal in Shreveport's own Veterans Hospital.
And tonight, a side to the saga that we haven't heard yet. KTBS 3's Elsa Gillish joining us again with those details in our continuing investigation.
Elsa?
Jerry, Jessica, it's said that there are 3 sides to every story. So far, we've brought you a whistleblower employee, and then after 2 weeks of waiting, you heard the official VA response. Tonight, we hear from the patient's point of view, a veteran, a mental health patient, who says he was on a secret list at Overton Brooks.
We're not challenged with access at Overton Brooks. We can provide same-day access. That's why we're encouraging veterans to enroll into our system.
How did it make you feel watching this week's news conference when they repeatedly said, you know, the only people that haven't been seen are people that have either disconnected, disengaged with the system, that they're actively calling people to make sure they're getting the care they need, that they have access to care, that if you need to see someone, give us a call.
Well,
how did that make you feel?
Honestly, it made me angry. You know, I mean, it pissed me off because, you know, that was just a straight lie because it wasn't true. I was one of those people that hadn't gotten the appointments, and I wasn't disconnected because I was going there last year every Wednesday. I was there physically every Wednesday, and sometimes more than that. I wasn't refusing service, but no one called me. There were no letters sent. Nobody even called to see if the medication was working or if it needed to be adjusted.
Michael Stewart, a veteran of the U.S. Navy, has been diagnosed with major depressive, bipolar, and anxiety disorders.
He's been a patient at Overton Brooks for years and an active participant in group support sessions. But in recent years, he's struggled to get an appointment with a psychiatrist to discuss his medications.
He specifically said they do not have anybody in the position. We do not have the doctors to handle the patients that we have right now. Those medications, they were powerful enough, and they needed monitoring. You know, they needed someone to come in and say, okay, how is it doing? I mean, are you okay with it? Because honestly, I wasn't okay with it.
His most recent appointment was this past May, a 15-minute appointment with a physician's assistant. The last time he saw a psychiatrist was in August of 2013, but it's not for a lack of trying.
That was me physically going to the window and talking to the secretary that did the appointments. You know, I did that at least 3 to 4 times. And when I call in for prescription refills, I would ask for that appointment. I was physically active in that pursuit to get that appointment, but that didn't happen for how many months?
9 months, about 270 days.
Any appointments that are scheduled beyond the 30 days for services that need to be seen sooner, we have relationships with our community partners and healthcare institutions to get them into various different hospitals to get seen, where we give authorization for veterans to get out into our community to get that care.
Did you ask to see anyone else outside in the community? Did you know that was an option? Did you know that's something they did?
Didn't even know it was an option for the mental health or even primary care. I did not know that that was even an option that they offered.
So Stewart was left waiting, his name just sitting on a paper list with many other veterans, something he saw with his own 2 eyes.
The secretary that I was standing in front of, she said, well, we need to see if we can schedule you an appointment, and let's see if you're on the list. Now she pulls out this list that's all stapled together. It's like 5 to 7 pages of veterans' names, social security numbers. I mean, it was 5 to 7 pages of it, and I was not on that list. So she leans back and talks to her neighbor, and she had asked the other person if I was on her set of list, and they brought it over. It was another set of pages that was 5 to 7 pages. You know, it was a packet. It was like getting an information packet, and of course they found my name on the list. And they said, okay, well, we'll put you down for an appointment. And they marked my name down. You know, they just put a check beside it. And that's all that happened.
Not exactly what was adamantly affirmed recently by VA officials.
None of these people were walking up to the desk or calling and asking for an appointment.
Here's a person that has been diagnosed with these particular issues and is known to have had suicidal ideations. And knowing that that's my history, I still went with however many months, you know, from August to May, with nothing.
We work with the patient as a team.
There was no secret list.
Yeah, there were no paper lists.
We do not have any wait times over 40 days at this facility.
I want them to tell the truth. That's it. You know, I just want them to be honest and stop with the, I guess it's the bureaucratic cover-ups, you know, the lies to make themselves look better than they really are. Just tell the truth. You pull a list of names and socials outside of the regular system, it becomes a secret list. It's a list, okay? I saw it. It's there. You know, just stop covering up, because if you cover it up, it can't get better. You know, you can't handle it properly if you're still not admitting the problem.
We reached out to VA officials about Stewart's care. Because of privacy laws, they can't discuss any patient's information. They say they have 17.6 full-time mental health prescribing providers who handle medication reviews for patients. And Jerry, Jessica, they clarified that they do not send veterans into the community for outpatient mental health services, which was not made clear in the news conference.
Okay, but he goes there to the VA a lot for a variety of things. Now, is he worried that since he's spoken out to you here that that could negatively affect his care there?
Jerry, he is worried about that. He was clear with me that he's very grateful for the care he does get from group therapy and psychologists, but he says they can't help him with his psychiatric medications, nor can his primary care doctor, so it's been very frustrating.
And they didn't have any doctor assigned to him, so
right.
That's made it very difficult.
Exactly. He's had about 5 doctors over the past how many years, and he doesn't have a regular psychiatrist right now.
Wow, Elsa, great story. We know it's very complicated. We appreciate you staying on top of it and shedding some more light on it for us tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Elsa.